Welcome to the Chelt Show, folks. Got a HarborFreight vertical horizontal chop saw and it's cut and crooked like this. Yeah, we're gonna tinker around with it and see if we can get that fixed today. Stay tuned. This hunk of junk, I can't call it a hunk of junk, I guess, per se. I've had it for a few years, 5. Problem is over the years, I guess the tolerance and everything has gotten a little bit out of line, and it cuts crooked. It'll start cutting in and puts the belt in a bind, or the saw blade in a bind. Mess around with this, and we're gonna try to get her cut straight. Alright, this is what I'm talking about. This should be a straight line from here to here. And as you can see, the blade, hopefully y'all can see it, the blade is actually cutting in at an angle this way. Which is not that big of a deal. When it first started, I wasn't that worried about it. I don't do anything that precise anyways. But now, as you can see, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna loosen the vise and allow this piece to move, and you can watch it kick out. See it kick out? That's how much it's out. Alright, so this is a good flat surface right here. And what we just cut so it's cutting pretty crooked. See, to me, I'm sitting here, that looks almost dead on. Let me show you that again. That blade is straight. I mean, it just barely rubs down the edge of that speed square. So it is cutting in. So I guess my only thing to know to do is take these apart, and adjust on these. If it's cutting in, I need it to go out a little bit. Let me start taking it apart. So this bolt that's in here holding this bearing in, you watch when I turn it, it adjusts it in and out. So maybe I need to come out with it cutting in. So it's cutting the way the blade is wanting to twist in right there. So I'll set that almost all the way in and tighten it back up. Now I'll set this one same, bring it in, or just right. So what I've done there is tapped it around to where it just barely, this back bearing in there barely touches. I'll do the same thing for this one up here. And then rotate it out because it's turning in. Or cutting in. That's gave a little bit of adjustment, took some pressure off of it. Let's see how it cuts now. Loosen it up, see if it slides out. Yep, so it's still cutting in for some odd reason. Now we're going to change the blade out. Now that I'm messing with it, so I know it's a good blade. Brand new, right out of the box. Adjust on these while it's on. Probably not very smart. Now, that's pretty true to me, so find another piece of metal, I guess. Try to cut again. I thought I was recording, but I guess I wasn't, so that's alright. It's pretty boring part anyway. So that's a new blade. Bearings are adjusted. I got it to where the back burn is barely touching. Those burns, I got them to where looking straight on. They look straight. The blade looks straight, so it's not pinching it too hard. You'll see right here. So now we're going to loosen it, see if it moves. And it did not. And this cut looked pretty straight, so we're going to keep on letting it cut. We're going to stop it right there because it looks like we've got that part figured out. The next problem on this is it's hitting as it comes down. So once again, over time, it's, you know, HarborFreight. So it looks like this panel's hitting. I would have to venture to say these need to be pushed down. As I took the weight off that back bearing, it needs to be pushed down so the blade actually goes down farther. So now I've taken the back panel off. We'll see if it'll cut through now. Nope, it's still hitting right there. So that means those got to be beat down. Push that blade down some more. Yep. See what I'm talking about? Because this bolt right here allows this whole carriage to move. I've got it rotated out all the way, and this one's out this way all the way, and I've got it to where it just barely rides on that bearing. But I think what I need to do is push these in so it actually goes down in between it into its home, into its kerf right there. So I guess it looks like it's cutting straight now, so we're gonna mess that up. We'll see if we can't get it to cut all the way through this metal. Pretty tight. Let's try this again, shall we? I'm gonna put the cover back on though. Well, at least it fits back in its home, so. And that's how it's supposed to be. So now we're gonna put the kill switch, which is this right here, back on. And try to adjust it so it shuts off when it's done cutting. A little tappy on some of these hinges here. let's watch it cut and see if it does what it's supposed to do. Alright, right here we're almost through. It looks fairly straight, so I'm gonna loosen up that the vise, see if it moves. If it did, it barely moved, so it seems to be cutting pretty true. That is what it's supposed to do. Got a little bit of an edge that didn't want to cut through, but it's always super slow down when it gets down to the bottom like that, because it's on plane with the metal, so it's cutting all the way across that. So let's see how it looks. I will take that. It looks just a hair off right there. Yeah, is what I'm looking for. You know, this was a cut that was on it before. So let's compare those. That was what it cut before. That's what you just watched it cut. So still a little bit out, but for a HarborFreight tool, that's nothing that can't be made up when you weld it together. Well, that's that. Like I said, this is a HarborFreight special. I think I gave back when I bought it. I think it was like $275 or $375. I could be off a little bit there. Oh boy, I've messed up there, ain't I? But this is a HarborFreight vertical horizontal bandsaw, and I've had it. I thought I didn't have it as long as I've had it, or I think I've had it. I think I've had it pushing on 5 years. Of course, some of the screws that like hold the panel shut has disappeared, vibrated out. Same thing, it had a little nut back here that held this panel shut, so I just bent it up, as you've seen. These are gotten wore out. I've went through several blades. I get them at Lowe's. But other than that, I mean, just to have this thing sitting in the corner of the shop, throw some metal on it, drop it, mark where I want to cut it, drop it. I can go off and do something else. I can go weld on something else or get something else prepared for the metal that I'm cutting here. I've stacked up a bunch of rebar in it, probably 10, 12 pieces of rebar round, put tie wire around them, knocked them all flat, threw them on there, and let it cut and walk away. Yeah, it takes a while. A lot of people that I see online with these, not just the HarborFreight ones, but any of them online, they'll drop it down on the metal like this, and then as it's cutting, they will hang weight off of this. Personally, I don't recommend that. I think it was, you know, yeah, maybe not HarborFreight design, but the way these was designed originally, this is just enough weight. They're not liquid cooled, so the more you push on, the more friction it creates, the more you wear out your blade. Also, I think by hanging weight off of them, you're going to run into problems that I've ran into. This is 5 years me working on it. I'd say if you hang weight off of it, you're going to get half that, quarter of that, a year out of it before you're going to start running into problems. So, but that's my take on it. It's, would I buy it again? Probably. Yeah, I probably would. I'd prefer to maybe find one with, you know, a state name on it maybe. maybe one a little bit bigger, one that I can find parts for. I'm sure I can get parts for this somehow off of Harbor Freight. I don't know if I had any kind of lifetime warranty on it or anything, and it's been so long since I've bought it, they would probably laugh at me anyway. So, but if you're looking at getting one of these, this thing's, like I said, it's like 5 years old. It's still going, as you can see. I've never even replaced the belt. The original blade on it lasted me forever before I finally bought a Lowe's one to put on it, thinking that it has to be better than the Harbor Freight. Bosch has to be better than the Harbor Freight. That original blade that I got from with this machine from Harbor Freight cut far superior than those blades do. Those do last a long time, as long as you don't, as long as I don't abuse them and start pushing on it. You know, I get carried away sometimes, especially during that last little bit that I was showing you, and I'll rest one finger on the top of this and kind of just push down just to give it that little bit of help to get to that bottom side, because there's not a lot of weight. Everything starts closing the gaps and touching. I'll give it a little bit of help there. I always lift up on it, get it started, ease it down onto the piece of material I'm cutting. And it's lasted me, like I said, 4 or 5 years. So hope y'all enjoyed watching the channel, and stay tuned for the next one. And I appreciate you watching. God bless. Catch you on the next one.